Hi friends, welcome back to Canary at Home. I'm Lacey and today we're gonna make a wooden block sculpture. You can go to www.ocanary.com/at-home to purchase a kit from us. Limited kits are available, or you can source all the materials from your home. So your kit will come with 2 bags of wooden parts, 2 cardboard bases, 2 glue brushes, a pot of wood glue, and 3 pots of liquid watercolor, red, yellow, and blue. Now I just want you to add a little bit of water to the liquid water concentrate that's in the pot, and it'll last you a little bit longer. All right friends, so what's a sculpture? Lots of times in the studio when I ask kids this, sometimes one of the first things they'll say to me is, a sculpture is a statue. And that's true. A sculpture can be a statue. When we think about statues, we might think of ancient sculptures like the winged victory of Samothrace. Sculptures can actually take many forms and be made of many different types of materials. This one is made by an artist named Louise Nevelson, and she used wood for this sculpture like we're doing today. This is a more modern sculpture by a really famous artist named Jeff Koons. It's called Coloring Outside the Lines. What do you notice? What do you think it's made of? This outdoor sculpture by Alexander Lieberman is called the Iliad, and it can be found at Storm King Art Center just about an hour north of here. Finally, look at this wooden sculpture. It's huge. It's called Seat by an artist pair named Yanju Lee and Brian Bush in New York City. If sculptures are made out of the right materials, they can live outside and they can be huge. So how is a sculpture different from the collage that we made last week? Last time, we worked with flat shapes to create a flat collage. Today, we're going to work with 3-dimensional forms to build our sculpture. Sculptures are 3-dimensional artworks, and we can build them with different forms that have many different sides. So what are your materials made of today? That's right, wood. This wood feels a little bit smooth, kind of heavy, and the wood is carved into many different forms. See how this form is different than this form? We can connect our wood shapes today using a special type of glue called wood glue. So wood glue is stronger than the school glue that we used for our collage last week. We need a stronger glue because the forms are heavier. While it is non-toxic, you do want to protect your surfaces that you're working on, so grown-ups, you might want to put a piece of newspaper down underneath the sculpture project. Your base today is a piece of cardboard. Now this cardboard we just cut from cardboard boxes, so you're getting lots of boxes at home. You can make so many things out of cardboard. Where does the base belong on your sculpture? You'll end up gluing all of your forms to your base, and that base will serve as a foundation for your sculpture to stand up in space. Okay, so let's start building. Okay, just like we had a tray full of shapes last week, this week we have a tray full of forms. Which form are you drawn to first? One of the bigger ones or one of the smaller ones? Where might you begin? I'm going to start with this circle. I'm going to take my wood glue. I'm going to tap, tap, tap it on the side to get some of that extra glue off. And then I have a choice. Should I put my glue on this side that has kind of these bumps, or should I put my glue on the more smooth and flat side? If you guess the smooth and flat side, you're probably right, because a smoother surface is going to glue onto the base in a stronger way. And remember, when I put my glue on the form instead of the base, then that gives me more of a choice of where I want to drop the form. I'm gonna put it right over here. Now when I'm deciding where I'm going to arrange the forms onto this base, I can decide to build out or build up. I think I want to build up. I'm choosing this form. Now, do you think that I should put the glue on this side that's a little more flat, or this side that's a little more round? I think before I put the glue, I'm gonna test it. Let's see, let's try the round side. Let's see if it stands up. Whoop. Whoop. Nope, that's not standing very well. So let's choose the more stable option, which is the flat side. And it stands up just right. This time I'm actually going to dip the shape a little bit into the glue. And kind of coat the bottom of it. And then I'm going to stack this form on top of that circular form, and I'm going to hold it down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once that glue dries, that'll be nice and strong. Right, now I have a lot of choices here. I could keep building up. You can even play around with it before you use the glue. Ooh. See how tall I can make it. That could be interesting. Or I could build out. Maybe make some connections. Ooh, that kind of fits nicely into there. There are infinite possibilities as to how you could create this sculpture. Now, once you've arranged your forms and you find something you like, make sure to add that glue. This might work better to stick it into the glue instead of use the brush. But here, you want to use the brush to make that more delicate connection. While the glue is still wet, it might feel a little wobbly, but once that glue dries, it'll be nice and strong. When we're building a sculpture up, a very important concept is balance, which means an even distribution of weight that allows objects to stand upright. When something is not balanced properly, it falls over. So today I want you to use as many pieces of your wood as you can to make a unique and interesting sculpture all your own. You can see here I've built up in a couple different places. I've added some very delicate, small details. I've also kind of built out onto my base. I made this little dot pattern. There are so many different ways you could put these forms together, and I can't wait to see how you'll build your forms into a sculpture all your own. Once you have decided that your sculpture is complete, that you've finished building, before you add any paint, I want you to turn it around very gently because the glue's still drying, and look at it from all the different angles. One of the coolest things about building a sculpture is that you can see it from many different perspectives, and it changes every time you turn and look at it from a new way. I know you're gonna be excited to paint, but if you can wait an hour, if you can walk away and do something else and come back in an hour, your glue will be dry and your sculpture will be really strong, and that is the perfect time to paint. So you're gonna have 2 brushes in your kits. Before you paint, right after you finish building your sculpture and using the glue, I want you to go and wash that brush really well so that the glue doesn't dry in your brush. You're also gonna need a small little cup of water to wash your brush in between colors. All right, when I'm ready to add paint, I'm gonna choose my color first. Today you have the primary colors, blue, yellow, and red. I'm gonna choose some blue first. Tap a little off. And where will I begin? You can paint any part of your sculpture. You can paint the forms, you can paint the base. Maybe I'll start at the bottom and paint this circular shaped blue. When I'm ready to switch colors, I wash my brush, tap the bottom, tap a little of that water off, and I'm gonna choose some red. Liquid watercolor is drippy, but you can see it absorbs into the wood in a really beautiful way. Now, because you're painting a sculpture, again, you have to think about it from all the sides. So while you're painting, you want to be gently turning your sculpture around and thinking about every side of that form. So you have the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, but as you know, you can mix those colors to make new colors. You can see here, I've mixed red and blue to make purple. And here, I mixed a lot of yellow with a little bit of blue to make light green. And here, I mixed some red with some yellow to make orange. You can paint your sculpture however you want, using whatever kind of painting techniques that you like to use. But it's a lot of work because it has so many sides. But you know what, guys? Artists work hard, all right? So you can do it. If you need to take a break and come back to it, that's okay, but I want you to think about every single side of your sculpture and adding colors to all the different angles. As you can see, the possibilities are endless. You can build this however you want, you can paint this however you want, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel or tag us at Canary Art on Instagram and Facebook. So parents, when I'm teaching a group in the studio, especially the younger children, I do not present any of the materials until I'm finished doing the lesson and the demonstration, because of course their attention is going to be on what's in front of them and not necessarily on my words or my demonstration if those materials are at their hands during the lesson. So what I want you to do is have the materials ready to go, but don't present them to your child until the video is over. Parents, I just want to say, I know you're at home and you really want to stretch the longevity of your child's engagement. So, you know, some kids will be really focused for, 30 minutes to an hour on a project like this. But some kids, it might last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then they're done. A few different ways that you can prompt them to keep working is, oh, I notice you have more wood forms on your tray. Will you use them all? Look at that form. I love how it looks like this. Where do you want to add that to your sculpture? You can prompt them to add more paint. Sometimes they get a little bit tired of all the different sides of the paint. Of course, you can walk away and come back to the project, but you can also keep challenging them, keep pushing them to add more and more elements to their work, and they might respond pretty well to that challenge.